Okafor joins us now, and he's written a book called Deliverance for the Saved. And it's interesting, his background. He founded Divine Touch or Deliverance Ministries in Botswana in South Africa. So think about that beginning, and then fast forward all the way to coming to the United States and being a pastor and really being worldwide, and having also had many experiences with people and travel, etc. So thank you so much, Bishop, for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Tell me about your beginnings, Botswana, and what that was like, because that influences, how you grew up and what you saw and what you ultimately became. Tell us about living there and what that was like.
Well, originally, I'm from Nigeria. When I left Nigeria, I went to Botswana. That was 1997. And I met my wife there, Okafor. The following year, because that was orchestrated by God, I met her in the dream. God spoke to me concerning her, showed me her, which is a revelation. So when I came over there, it wasn't too long for me to get acclimatized with the temperature, because Botswana is Southern Africa, which is different from Nigeria. Nigeria is West Africa. So the climate is not the same. Botswana is hot, extremely hot. Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria is hot, but the south is always wet, rainy, and so on and so forth. So they are not the same. So when I came to Botswana, meeting my wife enabled me to get into the ministry, because I wasn't a Pentecostal person from Nigeria. I was born a Catholic. So I attended Catholic seminary, grew up in the Catholic, did all the things. Halfway to becoming a priest, God led me out. So I went to university and then studied economics and statistics, after which I worked before I left, like I said, left to Southern Africa. So when I met her, we got married 1997. That brought me into the ministry, but not as a pastor. So it took some time, actually, because I came over to U.S. 1998 briefly, and then went back. When I came back, that was the time I came into the ministry. So, not Divine Touch Ministries, but that was Zoe Ministries. So I was there. I got training in Zoe Ministries, after which I became a pastor. So when I became a pastor, I started working in the deliverance, because that ministry was a deliverance ministry, the one I joined. So when I left, after a couple of years, I went deeper into the ministry of deliverance. That really helped me, my background as a Catholic, and then joining that ministries, and then being on my own for a while before starting Divine Touch Ministries worldwide in Botswana.
So, what in learning that background and bouncing to some very different areas, and applying that to the work that you did and learning to become a pastor, what do you see as the main thing that human beings struggle with, no matter where it is? There's some commonalities with Christians. What do you think the biggest struggle is?
The major struggle with Christians is knowing whom they are. Many Christians don't know their identity in Christ, and that has been the major problem, because when someone loses identity or don't even know his or her identity, it becomes catastrophic. So most Christians, when they receive Christ, they don't do any other thing. So they believe everything is done because Jesus says it is finished. That is not having full understanding of what the statement meant. It is finished means it is finished on the cross, not that you will not do anything. So if it is the way people take it or understand that. I mean, not everybody, because some do understand fully what Jesus meant. Then there will not be need for prayer, no need for healing, no need for deliverance. So, because if you said it is finished, then you don't need to do anything. But that is not what Jesus meant. Because even after resurrection, Jesus commanded the church in the book of Mark, chapter 16, from verse 17 to 18, where he gave a command for everyone that believes. Such a person will lay hands on the sick, and the sick will recover. Such a person will deliver those who are demonic or those who have demon possession. That is deliverance. And the same people, or rather, the word Jesus spoke after that resurrection, like anybody that steps on serpents will not be hurt. So what I'm trying to say is, Jesus, even though he said it is finished on the cross, after the resurrection, because that is when I know the ministry starts. When we talk of New Testament, it started after resurrection. And after resurrection, the commandment given by Jesus is what propels the church today. But many don't even know that. They still believe they don't need to do anything. So deliverance definitely involves us, the believer, the Christian, moving forward in life, doing what Jesus says we should do. Lay hands on the sick, deliver those who are in bondage, pray, and then do all that is required. So, in summary, a believer needs to do more than just hearing and sitting at home.
I like the way you summed that up. A believer needs to do more than just hearing. And that sounds like that's what you hope people take away from reading your book, Deliverance for the Saved, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Again, it's Deliverance for the Saved, Donatus Okafor. You can get it on Amazon or wherever great books are sold. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, I'm finishing it. I think what's so interesting about his book is the main questions. It's like Donatus was saying. So if you're confused in life, are you controlled by fear? Are you sort of held up by these unknown forces? Are you faced with failures and disappointment after lots of effort? Are you depressed? And now we're seeing that lots of people, and I shouldn't use the word lots, but unfortunately, we're seeing an epic rise in people that are committing suicide. And of course, isolation, some of the stuff that leads to that, people being manipulated. And as somebody who gave his life to speaking the word and becoming, as he said at one point, almost became a priest, and then ended up a pastor and running a ministry, and seeing what he saw as the main struggle with a lot of people and what they were grappling with. That's really the foundation of the book. What is it that you can get by doing more than just listening, by just being passive and hearing the word, but not applying it and not reaching that level where you would answer some of those questions. Some of those questions would, your approach to life would be different. So it's people that find themselves in these dark stages, and they're looking for some kind of guidance and deliverance. So the title, having deliverance in it and having a more fulfilling life, especially those in the Christian life, having more of a connection. And that's what I get from his book, that there's inspiration, there's reassurance, there's a guide for people who want to connect on a much deeper level and live more spiritually, I guess. Fulfilling lives is the perfect way, as Donatus said, to sum this up. So you can pick up the book on Amazon, like I mentioned a couple of times, or really anywhere where books are sold. We thank him for that. And we thank you for listening to this version of the show. Remember, make it count, everybody.